shoulder areas. I know I pointed at my shoulders, and then you pointed my neck first, and then shoulders. And so I thought I'd share some of the popular poses that we've been doing here at Lake Tahoe Yoga in order to affect these areas. You really don't need any tools. However, if you want to grab a can of soup or a gallon of milk, something that behaves like a weight, you can feel free to use one of those. I'm going to be demonstrating with the use of a sandbag today. And we keep these at Lake Tahoe Yoga. They're filled with Tahoe sand. And so the stretch that we're going to begin with involves putting the sandbag in one hand. I'll be putting it in my right hand to begin with. Stretch the other arm out with your palm facing upward. And then take your hand over your head, grasping the opposite side of your head. Now the sandbag is naturally pulling my right arm down towards the earth, and I'm going to let that happen. I'm going to let my arm dangle down towards the ground. Taking your left shoulder down towards the earth, start to pull your head over towards your shoulder. And as you do this stretch, do your best to keep your shoulder and ear moving downward towards the earth, never letting your shoulder touch your ear or vice versa. As you hold this posture, letting your arm dangle with your weight in it, whatever you might be holding, you'll feel a stretch all the way through the side of your neck, releasing some of those muscles that tend to get tight and tense when you're working on the computer, looking at your tablet or phone, or driving your car, or even flying on airplanes. I like to hang out in this pose for a good 6 to 10 breaths, depending on how my day is going and what I need, and I do this pose multiple times throughout the day in order to release tension through my neck. When you're ready to release this posture, your arm that's holding your head lets go and drops down to your side, and then very gently you let the sandbag bring yourself back to center. And then we'll simply switch sides. Take your sandbag, your weight, whatever you have, in the opposite arm, letting the weight pull your arm down towards the ground. We'll stretch opposite arm, which happens to be my right, out to the side with palm up. My hand comes over opposite side of my head, and as my right shoulder drops, I draw my head over to the right and let the weight pull my left arm down. The whole time, I'm breathing and releasing my shoulder away from my ear, drawing my head downward and towards the right. Looking for that deep stretch through left side. Now, of course, one side might be a little tighter than the other. You might feel a little more tension in one side than the other, and that's okay. That's just what's going on in your body. And of course, on this side, you'll stay for 6 to 10 breaths, depending on what you need today and what you're feeling in your body. Deep breaths as you hold this pose, continuing to think about shoulder dropping away from ear and ear dropping down towards the earth. When you're ready to release on this side, you let your right arm come down and then come back to neutral. And I like to just put down, or if you have a sandbag, drop that weight down and hang out for a moment in Tadasana, or mountain pose, allowing your body to release. The next pose that we're going to do is a focus on stretching through the front and back of your neck. So most of us don't realize it, but a lot of the work that we do throughout the day causes the muscles in the front of our neck to get very short and the muscles in the back of our neck to work trying to keep your head upright. And so although these muscles have lengthened, they're also working very hard all day long and can use a little bit of a break. And so I've been calling this the Kermit the Frog pose. I think about every time Miss Piggy tries to kiss Kermit the Frog and how he draws back. And that's what we're going to work on. Keep your shoulders relaxed and away from your ears. And at first, just test how it feels to drop your chin to your chest. That should feel very similar to what you're doing when you're looking at your phone, your tablet, when you're driving, when you're at your desk. And then do the opposite. Lift your chin way high up. And notice how that feels. You should feel a big stretch here, and you might even feel the tension in those muscles that are so used to shortening. And find neutral, doing your best to come to a middle ground where maybe your chin is parallel to the earth. That's ultimately our goal. And as you breathe out, push your chin backward, imagining as though you were flattening the back of your neck against the wall or against the earth. And hold that pose, avoiding that temptation to bring shoulders forward. keep them relaxed as your chin draws back. Now I'm doing this in the middle of the room and the side of the room, but you can also go ahead and do this at the wall. And if you work over at a wall, then you'll actually be able to stand hips against the wall, shoulders against the wall, and work the back of your head to the wall. The wall will give your shoulders and your hips a reminder to stay at neutral, and you can really work to press the back of your neck towards the wall. Again, this is a pose that we can do for about 6 to 10 breaths, and when you're ready to release, you just step away from the wall, or if you're standing in the middle of the room, you just relax and notice how things feel as you stand again in neutral. The final pose that we're going to do is a stretch through the front of our body, through our chest. And so we start by taking our hands and locking them together. I like to get a little funky and do the opposite pinky on the outside, so I'm out of my habitual posturing. And then you take your hands behind your head and neck, scooping your thumbs around towards your jawbone, with your fingers grasping the back of your head. Start in this posture by lifting your head up, imagining as though you could give yourself a little spinal traction, pulling your head up towards the ceiling as you hold this pose. And then gradually begin to widen your elbows, drawing them away from your face. So as we hold this pose, we keep lifting up our head and drawing our elbows away. Now you can stay here. If you're getting a great stretch, stay right here and feel that stretch in your body. This is a wonderful place to work. Some people like to add on a little bit. And you start to draw your head both upward and forward. Your chin moves towards your collarbone. Bringing it forward, you might start to feel the stretch through your shoulders on your back body. Keep lifting your elbows as you do this pose so that you're opening up through your chest. And then you can continue to move forward in this posture. Belly drops to spine. Keep your hips over your heels as you fold forward. And as you fold, you'll start to feel the stretch intensely moving down along your back body. Keep lifting your elbows to keep your chest open. Keep rolling your head forward and inward. And you may start to feel a stretch through your mid and lower back as you fold down. And of course, those of you who need a little leg stretch, you'll feel it in there too. You can stay down here for, again, about 6 breaths or so. Keep pulling your head forward, bringing your chin towards your chest, lifting your elbows and shoulders, moving towards spine. When you're ready to come up, you lengthen, elbows continue to lift, chest continues to rise. We come all the way back up, keeping our head lifting, opening up once more of your chest. And then when you're ready to release, arms widen out to the sides and release back to Tadasana. Hang out there for a little bit. If you'd like to learn more poses or more about Lake Tahoe Yoga, feel free to float around our website and check out what we have happening. And of course, you can always contact me with requests or questions about poses or areas of your body you'd like to address. Thanks for joining the practice. Namaste.